12-volt solar LED lighting coming up. So last week we installed a solar panel and a charge controller to keep the battery charged in the riding lawnmower. You could use that for a variety of different things. It just has to be a 12-volt or a 24-volt battery, but it doesn't matter if it's a lawnmower, ATV, motorcycle, any of that stuff. But this week we're going to tap into that so we can put some LED lighting in the storage room here. Now, I've said it before, I don't do any work in the storage room, so that's not why I'm installing LED lighting. I'm only installing it so that I can see in here when I finish a project after dark and I need to put stuff away. So I don't need a whole lot of light. And unfortunately, the first few clips that I recorded when I was doing this didn't record audio, so I'm re-recording some of that audio now. But we're just going to jump right into it and pick up where I actually had audio, because I can't remember the things I was talking about. But we're just going to jump right in to the point where I had already run a couple of the wires. But from then on, we'll be good. So you didn't really miss very much not having that audio. So let's jump right into the installation. So the first thing I did was run wires and add them in to the battery side. I just tapped them into the same wires as the battery would feed in. If you've never used these type of connectors before, you need to. These things are amazing. I'll see if I can find a link for them and put them in the description, but they're a lot more solid than those twist connectors and a lot easier to work with. But anyway, I ran the wires up this way, and then like right where the floor is for the upstairs, I drilled a hole, ran the wire along there. I didn't want to just go straight across because of all my tools hanging here. So I went along the floor and then dropped the wires down to the box right here. So I'm getting ready to prep the LEDs. They come on a spool like this, and they can be cut every third LED. So right here is where you would cut and make another connection. So you would cut that and then use these connectors at that point to add in some wires. So that's what we're gonna do right now. It's like 16 feet, and I have a few places that I wanna put them. So I'm gonna figure out where how I want them and like how many in each spot, and I will cut this up accordingly. Okay, so I'm gonna try and show you how these connectors actually work. So you open them up, they have two tabs, and they will accept wires going in here. Obviously, you'll strip the wires first. I have yet to do that, but I'm just trying to show you how to use them. So you put these wires in there, and you'll close that tab. And then on this other side here, so you'll take your LED strip, and you want to make sure that these copper areas make contact with these metal prongs in here. Flip it over, and you'll put it in there like that. Same thing, you'll close this side. So that's how these work. All right, so this is how I have the LED strips mounted. They do have an adhesive backing, but I don't know how long it's gonna hold up between it being attached to wood, also it being out here in the heat. So I got these clips to hold them on. They're not that great because this is a very flat strip. They would probably work better for the ones that are coated in silicone, but then you can't really cut them and connect them so easily. You have to scrape off the silicone. They're kind of a pain. I use those on my trailer, and you can do it, but they are difficult. So I flipped the clips over to hold them, to actually push against the strip. Otherwise, it wouldn't actually push against it. Over here on the connectors, I used one on each side to try and make sure that they stayed in place. And that's kind of the way that they were all done. And then you can see the ceiling, or I guess the upstairs, how that was done. I used quite a few clips to try and hold them in place. Ran the wire through the rafter and then over to the other one. The downstairs runs from the switch, goes kind of up that way, and then it's run on the back side right here, and then the wire runs along here, and then there's another strip, and then it runs across to the other strip here, and then follows the wire forward to this strip up here. So that puts 4 strips in the downstairs. So one here, one back there, one on that side, and then one right here. Well, I gotta be completely honest, I don't know if this is gonna work because the battery is at 10.8 volts, just in the amount of time that it took me to install this over the last couple hours. So let's see if it'll work. We got some. This one's not working over here. So the issue that I had initially when I first turned them on, why that final strip was not turning on, was actually right here on the 3rd strip. When I was attaching one of these, the drill slipped off and kind of punched the tape here. If you don't know anything about the LED strips, basically the strip is the wire and it broke the connection, so I had to cut one of these 3 LED sections out. So luckily it was the very last one. I just had to cut that last one out and then reconnect this connector and got that final strip working over here. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. It's not a ton of light in here, but it's plenty for me to see to put things away. Again, like I said, I'm not doing this to work out here. I'm just doing this enough so that I could see to put things away. So this is the bottom floor here. You can see I put a short strip here, short strip over there, short strip there, short strip there. So I divided the bottom area into 4 sections. And now for the upstairs. The upstairs is actually brighter because, for one, they're on the bottom side of the rafters, and for 2, there is like radiant barrier on the bottom side of the plywood or decking. So it's kind of reflecting the light, and it's actually making it brighter upstairs than it is downstairs. I put these on the back side of the rafters because I didn't want them on the bottom because I was afraid that they were going to get damaged. Probably would have made it brighter in here if I had put it on the bottom side. Overall, I am pretty happy with it. It's going to do exactly what I wanted it to and light it up just enough so that I can put stuff away. So if this seems like something that you guys want to do, I will put as many links as I can in the description for like LEDs, some of the mounting brackets, some of the connectors and stuff like that. It'd be really easy to do something like this wherever you need light, and with a small solar panel, small charge controller, and a small battery. You just need some of the stuff that's in my last week's video. So if you need some more of the solar aspects of it, go check out that video. This week is just the LEDs, and you can use pretty much any 12-volt battery will do just fine. I'm using my lawnmower because it's already in here, and that's kind of what I was doing with the solar, is to be able to charge it. And I'm like, hey, I might as well tap into it for lighting as well. But that does it for this week's video, and I guess we will catch you guys on the next one. See ya.